Sorry. Okay, we are here on Monday, March 2nd. It is 7:26, and I'm calling the March caucus of the City of Kingston Common Council to order. First up, we have a short presentation, about 10 minutes, from Kelly Crimmins of Big Cow. Up to the table. She's going to tell us about a little initiative that's going to be starting in March down on Kingston Point Beach.
Hi,
Welcome.
everyone. Thanks for having me. Let me do that. I don't know why it's trying to full screen on there, but it's on my computer. Okay, whatever. It's fine, right? I'm Kelly Crimmins. I'm the owner operator of Big House Spa, which is a mobile sauna company that I founded in 2022. I don't know why it's not changing on there. Should I unshare again? Here, stop. Stop sharing.
Try again.
Okay. We'll be bringing 2 wood-fired saunas to Kingston Point Beach officially. I think we're going to have our opening party and announcing tomorrow on Saturday, March 14th. And will be open Friday through Monday. Each sauna holds 7 people. I really founded this project because I really felt like moving from the city in 2018 that there really wasn't access to wellness that wasn't through hotels. I know you guys are talking a lot about hotels tonight, but that I really craved going to the sauna, or having a place where leisure was accessible, and noticing that some of our public parks weren't utilized, especially in the off season. And as a sauna lover, I sort of came up with this idea of what if we had pop-up saunas in our public spaces, especially during times they're not really being used that much or such. And this is Oakdale Park in Hudson, which was our original location where we stayed for 2 years. And we have public and private hours. We also do a lot of community events. We partnered with the senior center and had senior sauna hours. We've hosted BIPOC sauna. We've had people do fundraisers and cook soup outside, even though it's freezing, and people would sauna and come hang out. And it was cool to see that, like, you know, people walk their dogs or are around, and people would come and sit and just talk. And I think it was really good in a post-COVID world to have a place to go, even in winter, which can be hard, especially this winter. So in 2025, we posted over 3,000 people. We've been in Germantown, New York, which is actually quite a small town, but people were coming from pretty far. One of the great things that we also started doing is, I call it the Community Sweat Fund, which provides access to anyone who might be struggling with resources, because the idea that someone couldn't come but we're in a public space didn't really sit right with me. So every month we release, well, now it'll be more. We usually release 6 codes of free $10 and $15 for our public sessions. We raise money for this. When people check out, they can decide to donate to the fund, and we also have done some fundraisers to keep this fund going. And we've had over 32, I think it's more. I don't always have time to run all the numbers because it's really just me, of people visiting, utilizing those codes. But you can go to the website and like choose your own adventure. You don't have to interact with the human, so that there's an anonymous thing to it, which I think gives people sort of the freedom to go their own way. Yeah, and in general, we've had a lot of really enthusiastic or curious or like, what are those? Why? But in general, I just feel like most people leave really happy and excited. We are planning on coming to the Kingston Point Beach. This is wrong because things always go wrong, but from the 14th of March to the 15th of May, and then hopefully coming back in the fall to finish out the fall and winter season. These are hours. Everybody pre-books online. They sign a waiver. There's always someone there to greet them. These are my schematic of where the saunas will be on the beach. It's kind of down by the restrooms. Like, I think this is where the beach volleyball courts do go up eventually. And what else do I have in here? Yeah, supervision. Yeah, we're always there when the business is open, and then the saunas are locked and all the fires put out. And no guest is allowed to tend to the fire. The firebox is like secured. They sign a waiver. I know that there's some concerns about wood burning stoves, but I have installed probably the most effective and efficient stoves you can. They're EPA certified, and they really don't. We actually have, ever since I switched over to these stoves, and we burn like a third less wood than we did the year before. So they're built in America from a Finnish lineage. Been studying the way stoves work for 30 years. So, what else? I think that's the end of it, maybe. But I really just wanted to come and introduce myself because I'll be down there, and I've already started partnering with some of the community. Like, we'll be involved in the plunge and all things that happen around town for raising money. And yeah, I'm just happy to meet you all. And thanks, Michelle, for letting me come here today.
So, this will go through Parks and Rec, like Big Towel has an agreement with the city. And, they will be paying the rec fee, like the daily park rental, vendor that's already been set up in the code. So this is like not something new that's being created. It's just that no one's used it in the winter before, so.
Yeah, I just have a question on this. Once you put the saunas there, they stay there for the entirety of this, the 3-month period. They don't come and go. Okay.
Unless there's gonna be a.
Unless there's a
Yeah, they'll be ready to roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ruth, they look good. They look good.
Yeah.
Does it, it doesn't interfere with volleyball season?
As far, I was talking with Liz, as far as we know, no, but also we were gonna like talk to them about making sure we're not in their way. Yeah, she had connected us.
Marissa?
You say you have a staff person there, how do they stay warm?
So we have another tiny trailer that's like our dressing room trailer that's a little heated, and they sit in there. But this is the better season for it.
Were you able to hire someone yet? You were.
Yeah, we're hiring 2 Kingstonians.
Okay, great.
Our local, Kay and Aiden. But I'm sure there'll be, I think if we do end up adding hours or adding more staff, like there will be even more jobs, and I'm excited to have people. I live in Hudson, so it's great to have people here that are interested and want work.
Did you mention the hours that you're not?
Yeah, it's 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Oh, this round, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we'll
Michelle
send
and
it.
I have one of us will send the screen, presentation to you guys.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do that right now?
Yeah, thank you.
And you can find us on Instagram. There's like a lot of, me talking about why I do it, but I didn't want to bore everyone, but if you want to look us up. Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, since it's something new, I just wanted to make sure like people were aware of what's going on down there. So,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks.
There's no nudity.
Oh yeah, no nudity.
No screaming. Yeah, and no public swimming. I just want to make sure that that is on the record, that there's still no lifeguards, but, yeah. You're welcome to roll around in the snow. Okay. Yeah. And you have a plunge in water? Full plunge. Okay.
I just forwarded everybody.
Yeah.
All right, and I think next we're gonna,
I can't do so, but I would like to have a discussion in executive session about pending litigation with our attorney. So if somebody could make a motion.
Motion.
Second. And we can,
vote.
all in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
All right, we're gonna go into.
so we're gonna have to ask public.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Sorry to keep kicking you out.
You can come back,
It's all. I know.
book your saunas.
That's what.
A lot of people from Kingston
You can always find it.
All right. So moving into the resolution list for tomorrow night. First on the agenda is resolution 26, authorizing the mayor to submit an application to New York State Department of Transportation Alternatives Program for a grant up to the amount of $2 million for the Kingston Safe Routes to School, Bailey and Edson project, and to execute any and all related documents. So this was a pretty in-depth conversation at finance.
Yeah, this is an application for a TAP grant, which is through the New York State DOT. This will cover, I don't think we actually got a list of streets yet. It's not at that stage. Where we would have the streets that sidewalk will be on, but it would be
There's-
predominantly.
Yeah, predominantly in Ward One, it's basically Lucas Avenue, Marylina, probably Merritt and Voorhees, or Merritt and Boulder, one of those streets. And then, so basically, it's all the streets that lead to Edson and Bailey on which there are no sidewalks, basically.
And notably, we removed the section of funding in the first instance. So the administration will have to come back to us when they want to expend these funds, if and when the grant is awarded.
Right.
Right, we may not receive the full grant, so we would kind of want to just have another look at everything and make sure, see what we're getting, and if we can do all the streets and prices and changes. Yeah.
That changes.
20%.
20%. Well, it's to apply, yeah, and
just alert us that.
yes.
So the matching requirement may be up to $450,000.
Depending upon how much is.
Yes, because the award maximum is $2 million.
Okay. Next is resolution 27. This would be a transfer in the amount of $10,000 into the Arts and Cultural Affairs Department for a New York's NYSCA grant awarded for a program.
This is to accept a grant award for $10,000. There is no financial impact to the city. I believe this is going to be utilized for some of the 250 program.
Yes, I think that's, yes, I think that's right.
Yes. Any questions on this? And then resolution 28. This is a 2026 transfer in the amount of $12,300 in the Parks and Rec Department.
This is taking money from the rec fund, so not out of our fund balance, the amount of $12,300 for signage for our newly renamed Albert Brown Community Center, so the community can know who Albert Brown was and why it's important that the center's named after him. So there's no financial impact to the city because it's coming out of the rec fund.
And you want to explain the rec fund to our,
The rec fund is collected, usually through, the construction of apartment buildings and other large developments, per unit basis. So the developer pays a flat fee per unit, that's usually agreed upon by the mayor. And that fund can be used to offset some of the impacts of, a large development for people who may not ordinarily be paying property taxes. So we've used that in the past for improvements to Kingston Point. For, I think, some of the kayak launch funding is coming out of the rec fund. We just expended a rather large amount for
Pickleball.
pickleball is under 40, but there was something else more recently.
we've done Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
so its uses are for public recreation, as broad as that may be, for the improvement of our parks. So this is a relatively small expenditure for wayfinding and hopefully some interpretive signage as well as who Albert Brown is.
Okay, then we're moving, any questions, any further? Moving on to resolution 29, this is a 2026 budget modification in the amount of $37,338.42. in the police department for detective division police vehicles and patrol division computer equipment.
This is just balancing accounts from the 2025 budget. So this and the next couple of resolutions are all just balancing the book from fiscal year 2025 that have no financial impact. On the tax payment.
They purchased cars, right, that like weren't technically police
Yes,
cars? And
this was for the detectives, so they had to outbuild them out because the manufacturer, per our policy, they purchase electric vehicles, and electric vehicles aren't usually made to the specs of police vehicles. I sort of misspoke. Resolution 30 is about the 2026 budget. I could jump ahead, but most are like 2025 budget.
Right.
But kill me if I said it's about 2025.
all right, so Mr. Ham, you're gonna like this next one. Resolution 30, City of Kingston 2026 budget transfer in the amount of $150,500 in the Building and Safety Department for the demolition of unsafe buildings. So there was a building down on what avenue?
Oh, the first board.
Yeah,
Oh, that is.
it was with a house fire, yeah.
I thought it was because of the chainsaw.
No, no.
I'm like, you would think that he was.
Yeah. So a lot of his constituents came to our ward meeting because they were, been waiting for the building department to take action on taking down this unsafe building. So this will move forward. Any questions? Right, moving on, resolution 31, another budget transfer in the amount of $6,477.27 in the Building and Safety Department for vehicle repair, uniform expenses, and postage overages.
Sorry, this is the same thing, just reconciling the budget expenses to lines in which we're overspent.
All right, resolution 32, budget transfer in the amount of $23,831 by the controller on behalf of all city departments to reconcile the 2025 sewer fund employee benefits accounts.
This is again the same thing, moving things specifically from the hospital largely to vision and dental insurance overages.
Okay. And then resolution 33, another budget transfer. This one's in the amount of $928,429 by the controller on behalf of all city departments to reconcile the 25 general fund employee benefit.
This one replenishes our budget by $391,670
Into contingency, right?
into the contingency.
Okay. All right. Resolution 34 is a transfer in the amount of $60,000 in the fire department for internal transfer of funds from the Ulster County reimbursements to purchase various ambulance equipment.
So this is coming from contingency to the fire department in the amount of $60,000. So this does have a financial impact. This is to purchase a new stretcher for the ambulance. The chief indicated that this would actually be the first new stretcher. The other ones are used ones from when we purchased the ambulance. So the old one that they'll put this will go into service, and the old one will serve as backup for training and for in case anything goes wrong with any of the other stretchers.
Great. Any questions? Okay. Moving on to resolution 35. This is an ordinance amending an ordinance in relation to traffic on the public streets of the city of Kingston, New York, establishing a loading zone on Broadway. I think Tara put this in, but public safety.
Yeah, that's public safety, there's a need for loading zone by
Stone soup.
Stone Soup, Stone Soup,
470 Broadway.
70 Broadway, because to allow them to continue the business. I guess this present loading zone is no longer under his control, so he needs this space.
Okay, so this is, it says the hours of 10 to 3, so will people be able to park there during that time? What does that mean?
No.
No, 10 to 3 reloading zone,
Okay,
so the loading in
okay.
and out of the establishment.
And this is on the Stone Soup side or on anywhere?
Stone, right up in the stone.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Any questions? All right, resolution 36.
The resolution to declare Historic Preservation Month, which is the month of May. Not much more to say, it's a good idea.
Yeah. Great, we have a lot of historic preservation work coming up here in the city, so that's good. All right, resolution 37 is authorizing a budget transfer to expend up to $140,000 from the recreation reserve.
This is a finance, this is the other expenditure I was thinking of. I was wondering why it was out of order. This is the, replacing the barn at the nature center. It's where they store the feed and equipment for the creatures at the, Forsyth Nature Center. And it's again, $140,000 out of the rec fund. I wanna say there's, we could get that answer at finance, but I wanna say there's like $750,000 left in the, rec fund.
So, yeah, that's something like this.
Somewhere between $500,000 and $750,000.
Right, and the scope of this project changed and
Yes.
it's just, there's no longer bathrooms being put in, it's just this barn. So, okay, moving on, resolution 37, authorizing, oh, did you?
No, I was gonna make a suggestion,
Okay.
resolution 38 through 41. I had asked Michael to keep these separate in case anybody was opposed to any of these, but if everybody's in support of them, I would recommend that we bundle them.
Okay,
So what that means for the new members is I will ask on the floor if we could one vote for all of them. And I'll take the vote to make that happen and I'll clearly explain it. And then Elisa will read all 4 of them. And then I'll call for one vote.
I can make that motion.
I mean, as long as everybody's okay with putting them together.
This includes the firehouse,
Is it-
so it's remnant properties and the firehouse.
Right. And I wanted to give everybody a chance to vote differently if they want to. That's why I asked Michael to separate them, but if everybody's in favor of all 4, then let's bundle.
You're saying, okay, so resolution 30, 39, 40.
And 41.
They're all surplus properties.
so is there anyone that is opposed to bundling and would prefer separate vote? Speak now.
I don't.
Bundle.
All right, I'll look to you, Michael,
Sure. I only really much short.
Yes.
by
2
minutes.
votes for every 4.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this next one, resolution 42 is a memorializing resolution adopting, is to adopt a memorializing resolution to ask our state legislature to, move forward on getting, a legislative number, for the occupancy tax. We just had the public hearing, as you know. And we are still getting more public comment in, that we had left the public comment open until March 11th. Till the next finance meeting. So I'm making a motion to send this back to committee and go to the floor in April. So if there's anybody that,
Well, it's not an actual
Yeah.
vote. It'll have to be. a vote.
Yeah, but if like, if you discussion about, yeah, we'd like to do that, but if there's anyone that wants to go to a vote tomorrow, please bring that forward now or. Okay, all right, so I will make that motion tomorrow night. Anyone wants a second? Okay. All right, and then moving on to resolution 43, this is authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute Pike Plan legal settlements for the remaining 31 properties and transfer funds for said settlements.
It's not all.
No, the next, the 30. Yeah. Any questions on that?
I'm gonna give you a movie.
You're not gonna be here?
Meeting.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, any other questions? All right. And then last resolution 44, came out of laws and rules, and this is authorizing the renewal of the intermunicipal agreement between the town of Ulster and the city of Kingston Police, for shared services and the use of the town of Ulster's firearms training facility. This is standard. It gets renewed every 2 years. So any questions?
There's one more resolution, the one that passed out of special public safety. Bob, do you want to?
So the one we
The
just.
fire-
The one we just.
So it'll be 45.
Well, I think
Right,
if whoever, because a few people were missing, so to not surprise anybody tomorrow.
Oh, right.
so the, yes,
You want me to?
yeah, we did,
Sure, so I think it was last year, the Public Safety Committee changed the speed limits for the school zones, most of them reflecting 15 miles per hour. And a couple of the ones at near Kingston High School, 20 miles per hour. So per request by our city engineer, he accidentally put 20 miles per hour for Delaware Ave near JFK. But he intended to put 15 miles per hour. He didn't catch it before we voted on it last year, so he has asked us to make that change so that the speed cameras that are gonna go in the school zones can be automated to reflect what he believes is the safest speed limit for that area. So it's Delaware Avenue from Murray Street to the road access of Hasbrook Park.
yeah, which is permitted under the manual of uniform traffic control devices. He makes that decision, and he made that decision, but now will be consistent.
So it's just fixing something that he.
With an oversight.
With an oversight.
But it has to be done now before the cameras actually are installed and functioning.
What was that?
It has to be done now before the cameras are actually installed.
Which is why it was time sensitive and I agreed to a special meeting.
I have a question, since I wasn't here. Does that need 2 readings?
No.
Okay.
And it's important to remind everybody, 15 miles an hour is very slow, and the traffic enforcement with cameras is could result in citations for people who are not cognizant of the speed with which they are driving.
And who was it? Either Ben, I think it was Ben, Mike, who brought up a point of, yes, the 25 miles per hour citywide could be helpful, especially as the weather is warmer and there are more people sharing the street, to remind our constituents. Citywide speed zone is 25 miles per hour. And of course, in the school zones, mostly 15 miles per hour, with the exception of I think 2 streets.
There's a couple of 20s, but mostly 15.
So
If you go 15.
network that out, that would be helpful.
Yeah, it's just to, a way to remind our constituents, whatever help I can get to remind, out of 1,600 registered voters in Ward 8, I have about 500 email addresses, so.
That's good.
That's great.
It would be a bad idea to mention to the mayor into summer, but spring's coming, people are gonna be back driving around,
Yeah.
snow's not gonna be here, so.
Do you want to get any house? Sure.
I think they usually do that, especially when school comes out. There's another question.
Citywide.
Not a van.
25 mile an hour.
And electric
About-
behavior on the electric bike.
Okay,
Can't go down the sidewalk. We had this whole discussion.
yes, do the right thing with electric bikes.
Because they have to
Yes,
observe speeding, it's correct.
I don't know the exact rules, because that depends on what level, I don't know much about e-bikes at all. Doesn't it depend on like classes?
In theory, those on the roads aren't supposed to go faster than 20 miles an hour.
Um,
They're supposed to be set.
Wait,
Can we just have one person and speak at a time, please? See what Bob just said.
What did
Yeah.
you say?
If the state law says that if it's a bike in New York, it can go no faster than 20 miles an hour. It's a class 2 bike. Class 3 bikes are not permitted on the
Okay.
streets of the.
What I'm suggesting is that reminder go into the same reminder that we're talking about instructing.
Use your e-bike responsibly.
And let them know what the speed limit is as well.
And
It's your-
where they can.
All right, I just can we just one at a time, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and where can one?
Well, if we pass legislation, you can ride it anywhere in the city, and except for the parks that the park directors has banned them. The park director has banned them in some parks, like Gallup.
I mean, on the street or,
You may ride them on the street, but not on the sidewalk.
okay, that's, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna ask Summer to do a communication about speed limits and keep it, not to throw out too much information. If
Right.
you want to decide to ask about something else with the e-bikes, maybe we could do that in a late, instead of maybe mention the speed limit, but keep it at speed limit instead of trying to put all the rules.
It might be worth sending a message to the Complete Streets Advisory Council to have them draft something to be sent out. I mean, they know a lot about e-bikes. And they, could put something together that someone could send out. Because they've thought a lot about this.
You're the liaison still?
I know.
Okay.
You go there. Bring it to me.
You are, or Marissa?
I'm gonna officially.
Okay, so one of you can follow up on that, please? Okay, thank you.
Sure. You can get it.
You mentioned it.
I know.
Okay, I just have a couple of announcements and we have to just do our liaison info, because this is where we share about what's going on when we don't know what's going on, but if we have it's the time to bring this information back. I just want to say first, regarding the Charter Commission consultant, the mayor, we understand, is moving forward on putting together the contract with National Civic League. Secondly, there was a presentation again by the Office of Housing Initiatives at last week's Community Development and Housing Committee. And I'm going to be putting in a communication for laws and rules for a discussion and possible change to the role that the Common Council has with the nonprofit. This body never signed off on the resolution that the housing director had brought to us, which included putting a council liaison to the nonprofit. And it's something we didn't approve. And I'm not so sure that we all want that to be encoded into the bylaws of the nonprofit. We also didn't change like any of our rules, council rules, to include that liaison or position in. I don't even know if our attorney reviewed the bylaws for that role. So it's a discussion we'll have in laws and rules later this month. I attended the Live Well meeting and we're going to have a future change to the city's no smoking policy, which applies to city buildings, the grounds of city government buildings and our parks, which doesn't allow smoking or marijuana. And they may want to amend it to include no vaping because that's turning into a real problem. And then water department, they're still looking into funding for lead line replacements. That's all I have. Next.
Just reminders, we have a couple public hearings before our next caucus, the 11th at 6:15. Michael is going to chair a finance public hearing for the senior tax exemption and low income tax exemption. And then laws and rules will have a public hearing before next caucus at 6:30, and that will be with the draft tree ordinance. Although don't anticipate a vote the next day. It's still in draft form. A couple other things coming up this month. We got 12 applications for the rent guidelines board. So I put that on the agenda of the housing committee. So we'll review that. If you're interested, please do attend. And then Marissa asked for a discussion on the school zone cameras. so I put that on public safety. John Schulteis will be in attendance, but he asked if there's any questions ahead of time. If you have any, I know Marissa has asked questions and I think gotten answers on your questions so far.
Yeah, this question, mostly just a discussion, question and schedule and implementation and other parts of the program.
All right, and then in slightly more fun news, although I think that's all fun, is the St. Patty Day parade is coming up. So that is the 15th. Typically, elected officials walk, although I think there are a few of us who are going to be running it, right? Ben running it?
Yeah.
Michael and myself, we're gonna be running. But for anybody else who wants to walk with the other electeds, I think you meet it, so the run starts at 12:50, the parade technically starts at 1, but I think it takes a while before, so I think it's like a little bit before 1 that we normally meet up. Right? And it's on, what's that street?
Westbrook.
Westbrook,
yeah.
thank you. We meet up at Westbrook, it's fairly close to the beginning, usually right after or right before Kingston High School Band. I think they keep changing it. So look for all the plumes. And then
It's on the Sunday.
15th, yeah. Typically, a few of us, like I've always handed out candy. I don't know if anybody else has, but since I'll be running, I won't be handing out candy. So if anybody wants to bring any, the kids always appreciate it. But it is tiring because you have to like go back and forth between the slots. So you get your exercise for sure if you would like to do this. This is also not mandatory. You do not have to run or walk or give out candy. You do not have to do any of it. But it is the 15th, and that's all I have.
I do not public works, but I want to say the public works, I think, has done a tremendous job with the snow this year. But it's up here for them. I know they're out of overtime and the salt and not everything, but continuing. So I want to give them accolades and on that they've done a great job. So you can transmit that right, send a note call. They really, I think they deserve our thanks. Here,
Yes.
Complete Streets Advisory has been relatively calm. I don't think there's any action required on our part. What do you think?
Say that again.
Complete Streets Advisory has been relatively calm. I don't think there's anything.
I have very much more.
Is that because it's winter and people aren't riding their bike
No,
walking as much?
They have animated discussions, but I don't think they require anything of us right now.
Oh.
So.
Marissa?
Limerick Commission is hosting its first annual Federation Awards program, accepting nominations for excellence in rehabilitation, restoration projects, public advocacy, education, and historic trades. So they're accepting nominations until March 10th. And I think it'll be announced, the winners will be announced in May. Sorry, Preservation Month. And the staff in the planning office are planning some special talks and workshops for May as part of Preservation Month.
I left the Wilbur meeting for you to announce.
You love what?
The Wilbur meeting for you to announce.
Oh, yeah.
If you want.
Yeah, good. So that's coming too.
Yeah, so there'll be we're nominating Wilbur for the state and national historic landmarks.
National Register.
National Register, yes. So there will be a public meeting, and I actually don't have it on my calendar. I didn't know.
April
21st. Yeah, it's Tuesday. So I can send that information out to everybody.
So that's a great opportunity because property owners have the regulatory burden of being in a local historic district, and now with the National Register listing, they will be eligible for historic tax credits. So it's the carrot and stick approach to historic preservation. So I'm really glad to see that moving forward. Oh, and the tree commission is we have the tree preservation ordinance that we'll be reviewing at the council together. And we need to,
Let's talk after.
yeah.
The Climate Smart Committee held a very interesting and informative event about battery energy storage systems. Last Wednesday. It was very well attended. There was a lot of information discussed. I wasn't able to stay for the questions, but it was very insightful and very productive, I thought. I was not able to attend their meeting the following day, but I know that they have the Earth Fair coming up, which I'll be able to talk about in our April caucus, where I think they'll be doing the paint return again, which was extremely successful, as well as the electronics deposit, I believe. And then Cuba is on Wednesday, where I'm sure they will be talking about the proposed occupancy tax.
What time Wednesday? What time Wednesday?
Cuba?
No, isn't there a meeting tomorrow? There's a meeting tomorrow on somebody on the other meeting.
They have formed the Kingston Restoration Committee.
Yes,
That will be Wednesday,
yes,
at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
okay.
That the administration declined to extend an invitation to.
Where?
The Senate garage.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
I found out.
Yeah, I saw where it's been posted online, so I was planning on.
But yes, that invitation is not extended.
Alderman Ham.
Zoning Board of Appeals and the Fire Commission, there's been no activity.
Okay.
The CAC, they've got like we've heard or read or seen, they have an air quality monitor up and it's working. It's not fully integrated yet well, maybe by now, but the last meeting wasn't fully integrated into the larger network that Bard was using. If you've driven by, do you all know where it is or?
Andy Murphy Center. Yeah.
Okay. So that's largely the news from CAC and the police commission. If you didn't watch it on YouTube or you weren't there, it was it was kind of an above average excitement level. We got
Yeah.
there was lots of words were exchanged, mostly on one side towards those of us at the table. I was cursed out while leaving the building, going in my car. I'm still kind of processing that whole thing. What night is that?
Why would they?
It's actually in the afternoon.
It was before laws and rules.
Yeah, it's 4 to 6.
What
Yeah.
were they upset about?
Really upset about a lot of things. Yeah, I wish I had a better way to capture it, and I really don't. I know I'm like on camera, it's a little bit like, I think it was.
I think that there's certain individuals in the community that filed different complaints and they didn't have the outcomes that they hoped for.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Yeah, in simplest terms, that's what happened.
Okay.
And in unsimple terms, it was a near riot affair. In this one.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm to watch.
Yeah,
Well, I'll have to watch
if YouTube still allows it, there was a lot of words that we can't say.
Yeah.
It's against our council.
All right.
The swear jar was full.
And just to wrap up, the CAC did an annual report that's out,
Yes.
and you can see it online or you can.
On the air quality or a lot of things?
What they're actually doing.
Okay.
So, it was, they're busy.
So, Kingston City Land Bank, if you were here last year, you might remember that we, approved the purchase of the property, the Grand Slam. And so those two buildings are now up and they are beautiful and people have bought them. And so, when was it? They had a ribbon cutting, all the Ulster County folks were there and, it was just an amazing, I guess it was only, all of this happened like in 9 months from the time that they purchased it to the time that these homes were built. And they all went to like local families and, just a wonderful thing to see that they're now in these homes and the kids are happy and they're beautifully appointed.
Very well done.
Yeah, yeah. And then with the library, I wasn't able to attend the meeting because I was here. We had that special meeting. Almost, I think the 14th, the 11th, or the 14th, whatever. But I did talk with Margie Menard, and as many of you may have read, the construction, the end date for the library construction on Franklin Street has been pushed back an additional 6 months. Because of some issues with the basement. The basement was found to be uneven and they want to make use of that space as well. So apparently that has caused the 6 month delay, that and some other things. But we can look forward to having the library back online come September, is what she's saying now.
And I can confirm that they are there every day.
Yeah.
Working.
Yeah, that used to not be the case. That was part of the problem.
They are there.
Yeah.
Great, thank you, Karen. Sarah?
Yes, so the rec commission, they only meet quarterly, and I couldn't go to the first meeting because it overlaps with the Kingston Arts Commission, which I'm always also the liaison. That will not happen for subsequent meetings, but for this, the first one it did. But the Arts Commission met and Kit announced that actually the part of the Arts Master Plan involves doing an assessment, a conservation assessment of works that we have in our collection, especially the WPA works. And that's going to be starting this week, where the conservator's going to come in, take a look at everything, and then sort of recommend treatment at the end of this process. So that's exciting, because the collection has not really been looked at all. They're also looking for some new commission members, and there were some wonderful candidates who expressed interest, so that's moving on. And then Kit, I think I sent to all of you the USA 250 events that are being organized. So there was discussion about those upcoming events, which are exciting. And then the KOAC, there were 2 loans from people whose canopies had been taken down. And they had applied for a $35,000 loan, so that's going to be considered. But there were 2 property owners who have stepped forward to take advantage of that opportunity. So that was discussed, and I'll be able to report after the next meeting as to how that's moving along. But it's exciting that at least 2 people are taking advantage of that. And I think there was a little bit of discussion about the Kingston Business Park, but that's still sort of an ongoing process to sort of see what the RFPs that were put out, what has come back in, and who's interested in that. So I'll report on that again after the next meeting.
For housing or business?
Well, it was for both, for multi-purpose.
Okay.
So I haven't seen them, but they're coming back in now, some of the proposals.
Great, thank you, Sarah. Ruth?
I
just say congratulations. I heard great things that Ruth had a very successful board meeting with about 30 people. So
Wow.
That email list, I spent 8 hours. Yeah, it was a good meeting. It's really nice to see the people show up. And they had a lot of these, good issues that they brought up, On the planning board, the couple things that stood out to me were the just excitement about Rite Aid being converted to a C-Town grocery store. And so they're asking for a couple waivers and permits on that. And the other kind of standout one was 21 Elizabeth Street. There was a really lot of members of the public here who were concerned about that, but the architect team really did a good job in addressing everyone's issues. So I thought it was a pretty good meeting. I haven't seen any activity with the Roundup Business Association, the Housing Authority. On the Waterfront Advisory Board, I attended the first meeting, and then there was a follow-up meeting where they were going to hire, they were working on hiring a consultant with all the right expertise to address the various issues of the climate change issues and harbor management and things like that. And then I just got requested to be on the Kingston Point Wetland Restoration and Public Access Improvements Project Advisory Committee. And I said, yes.
Don't worry, you'll learn.
I don't think I've learned yet on the waterfront. Yeah, I should be.
All right, if that is all, if I can get a motion to adjourn, it's 8:39. Motion, second, all in favor? Any opposed?
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa. Thanks.